Yes guys, and welcome back guys to a brand new video guys, and in today's video guys we are going to be talking about Manchester United's last game and first game on the road away from home guys against Brentford guys, where Manchester United have gone and lost the game 4-0. I'm fuming and it's just shambolic, humiliated, and it's embarrassing. Every single player should hang their heads in shame, and that was just simply not good enough. I'm just absolutely disappointed and absolutely fuming after that result. Those players have got a lot of work to do this season. Honestly, they have. Anyway guys, let's get straight into today's video. So we made one change from the last game against Brighton. Talking about the starting 11, so we started with De Gea, Dalot, Maguire, Martinez, Shaw, Eriksen, Fred, Sancho, Fernandes, Rashford and Ronaldo. Get into the overall reaction now. Bees run riot in first half to humiliate visitors. Shambolic, humiliated and embarrassing. It's like a men's side playing under nines. That's the worst performance I've ever seen. What a shambles. We're a mess. Shocking, awful, utter, absolute. It's disappointing, annoying and frustrating. It's not good enough. Can't say much more. Not fit to wear the shirt. No backbone, no spine, no identity. Unbelievable. The players are a joke. Fucking dreadful. It was damage limitation. We made too many mistakes. All goals were preventable. The players were not showing any fight, heart, passion, pride and character. We capitulated. The heads dropped. We just folded. I'm lost for words. Too many individual performances were poor. We were a bit better in the second half. United had more possession in the second half, lack of creativity, we need signings ASAP, no effort and sloppy passing. These are established international footballers. The players should be ashamed. Stop hiding. Where's the work rate and the work ethic? Laziness, don't give a shit. 4 goals in 35 minutes. I'm sick to death of these bunch of players. Too many players, had a poor game. First half embarrassing, second half not good enough. Overall, it was a lacklustre and woeful performance. Before I start today's video, I'm absolutely fuming with those players. 4-0 in the space of 35 minutes. That is an absolute joke. Those players should hang their heads in shame. That is the worst team I have ever seen Manchester United play. In the whole 23 years, I'm 23 this year, this is the worst team I've ever fucking come across. Every single player are an absolute embarrassment to this club. They're an absolute embarrassment. They should hang their heads in shame after that. These are established international footballers that are getting paid 100,000, 200,000 a week. They should send those wages to a charity after that. That was an absolute shambles. The worst performance I've ever seen us play. The way, the attitude, the body language, everything about us. You know, we didn't want to get back into the game. There was no fight, no passion, no pride, no heart. Not playing for the badge, not playing for the club. You know, just not doing our basics. When you're 1-0 down, you're still in the game. You know, where was the reaction after when we went 1-0 down? When you're 2-0 down, it's a tough climb to mount it. It's a tough mountain to climb. And then when you get that third goal, it's done. You're not getting back into the game. And what we did was the heads dropped, we folded, and we capitulated, and that was it. But the players were done. After that first goal, there was no reaction. After the second goal, there was nothing again. And if you don't respond right away, that's what happens in football. You get punished, and that's what happens. Every single goal we did was a mistake by that player. We're an absolute shambles at the back. We're not organised, and we're just a bunch of, at the minute, we're a bunch of kids. We're just running around like idiots, not knowing what our roles are, not doing what we're doing, not sticking to the manager's game plan, and that's what happens. The manager's just absolutely shocked. He's absolutely stunned. He can't believe it as well. He was shaking his head in the game. Those players should hang their heads in shame after that. That was an absolute embarrassment to the football club, and that was an absolute embarrassment for the fans to go and watch as well. An absolute shit show. An absolute embarrassment to watch. I feel for the fans, you know, because, you know, you will have some fans that have gone to the game from Manchester as well, to make that 4-hour drive as well, in the morning as well, to go to that game. That is an absolute embarrassment. Those players have got a lot of responsibility to take, and that is on them. That is not on the manager. That is on the players. Those players are an absolute... I just don't know what to say about them. They're an absolute joke at the minute. They're an absolute joke. They've got to take the blame for that. That was an absolute embarrassment. That was just an absolute embarrassment. Just not good enough for this football club. This is Brentford. You know, this is Brentford. We've beaten them twice last season. We did the double on them last season, and now we're going away from home. They didn't even play the hearts out. They didn't have to get out of first gear. That's how easy it was for them. We're an absolute embarrassment to this football club. At this rate, I just bin the fucking lot of them. Bin the lot of them. Start again. And this is what we need to do. Get rid of Delo. You're finished, mate. Get rid of Maguire. You're finished, mate. Get rid of Shaw. You're finished, mate. Fred, you're finished, mate. Time to go. Ronaldo, at this rate, I'd get rid. If he just his attitude is just nowadays is just not good enough. You look at players like Rashford. You'd probably say sell. These players are just not fit to wear the shirt at the minute. And I tell you, if anyone was ruthless at this moment in stage, they'd fucking get rid of them. Just bin the fucking lot of them and let's start again. And let's just build again. These players don't have it in them. They're just fucking dreadful. They don't know what it takes to be at the top level. And if they don't want to run for this football club and they don't want to run, fuck off. You know, every single fan was absolutely angry after that, and they have the right to be angry after that. Even me, I was absolutely pissed off. I'm sat there watching that game at 12:30 in the middle of the night, and for us over in Southeast Asia to watch that game is an absolute embarrassment. There was probably people from Australia watching that, and that is an absolute embarrassment to the football club. That is not good enough. That was just so poor. It was just not good enough. And every single goal was a mistake. The first goal all started from a United throw-in, lost possession, they had a howler. Second goal, stupid playing out from the back, Eriksen's on the pressure, easy goal to make it 2-0. And we nearly got caught out by doing that early in the game, and we got lucky. Second time around, we got punished for it. Third goal, it's a corner, zonal marking. Who is marking who? And Ben Mee just heads it in for 3-0. And just targeting Martinez as well. Fourth goal, Sancho loses possession, 2 passes on the counter-attack, and it's 4-0. An absolute embarrassment to this football club. Every single player must hang their heads in shame. Do not come out on social media and say we're going to go again, because you're not. You're going to fix it and you're going to put it right for this Liverpool game. And I'm just absolutely embarrassed as a Manchester United fan. And this is the worst Manchester United team I have ever fucking watched. They're not good enough. What did I make of the performance? It was shocking, awful, dreadful, embarrassing, appalling, disgraceful and disgusting performance. Those players are an absolute joke. They're an absolute mess. Every single player are an absolute joke. Each and one of them. I don't care if it's De Gea. I don't care if it's Ronaldo. I don't care if it's Rashford, Bruno. Hang your heads in shame. That was an embarrassment. Take it on the chin. That is your responsibility on that game. That was not the manager. They had a game plan. Didn't stick to it. As soon as one goal went in and the other went in, the heads dropped, we folded and we capitulated. That's what you get from those bunch of players. They don't show the fight, they don't show the passion, they don't show the fight or passion, pride or heart, determination or commitment to get back into the game. They just fold, capitulate and then the heads drop. It's not good enough. It's just simply not good enough. And the performance overall was just so lacklustre, so woeful, so poor. And the players are just got to take a lot of responsibility for that game. Each and one of them, and stop hiding, get out of these hiding places. Passing yet again was just no effort in it, sloppy passing, no creativity in the game as well. Well, there was creativity, but again, did we score? No. I'm just lost for words. It's just not good enough. 4 goals in 35 minutes. That just sums us up. And the players don't give a shit. I'm sick to death of these bunch of players. It was just embarrassing to watch. And the heads dropped. There's no backbone, no spine, there's no identity. It was unbelievable to watch. It was utter shite to watch. And it was just so disappointing. And we're a mess. It was an absolute shambles. It was just one of the worst performances I've ever seen from the players. I'm not going to analyse that game back. You know where it went wrong. It was just not good enough. Those players have got to take responsibility. I am sick and tired of these prima donnas at this football club. If you don't have what it takes to be at this football club, piss off. I'm not dealing with these players again for this season. It's just not good enough. I don't know what to say, I'm lost for words. It looked like it was an end-to-end game. At first it was very competitive. Then once the first goal went in, Brentford were aggressive, controlled, dominated the game and absolutely humiliated us 4-0. What went wrong? A lot went wrong. I think the players had too many poor performances. They were hiding. They were just not aggressive. I think at the back, just not organised, just not doing the basics, not winning the 50-50s, not winning the duels, not winning the loose balls, nothing. Just everything went wrong. We were not aggressive again, just standing off them, letting get shots off. We made mistakes as well. There was just so much that went wrong in that game. You could just pinpoint every single goal that we conceded. Losing possession too easily as well. Just getting bullied off the ball, not strong enough, not getting tight enough, not stopping them to get a shot off as well. It's just an embarrassment and it's just not good enough. Midfield was invisible and the attack, I thought it was alright, but we just didn't take our chances. But a lot went wrong. Ten Hag knows where it went wrong. It was mistakes. All in all, where it went wrong was individual mistakes from players. And it's just not good enough at the end of the day. United have now broken more records. It's the first time Brentford have beaten Man United since 1938 and the first time we have lost 7 games away from home since 1936. Yeah, not good enough. This team's just going to carry on breaking records and this is what they're like. This season will go down as one of the worst starts that we've ever had. Since how many years? That'll come up next as well. It was the same thing last season. Last season it was our worst season. About 58 points or something like that last season. And now we've been beaten by Brentford since 1938. And it's the first time since 1936 we've lost 7 games away from home. That is not the Manchester United that we know. We all know this is the worst Manchester United side. And if you know this is the worst Manchester United side, you're going to be breaking stupid records like this. The more you keep breaking records, this team will just go down as one of the worst teams that you've ever seen in the Manchester United era. It just speaks for itself at the end of the day and it's not good enough. This is what you have to deal with. Erik ten Hag had the right game plan in place for this game. He told the players to play long, invite them and play long. The space was high up the pitch. Why didn't the players not take on coaching instructions? That's what they're like. What it is they get told what to do. What it is when the first goal goes in, you still stick to your game plan because you're still in the game. But then what happens is, when we conceded the second goal, the heads had dropped, we capitulated, and we folded. We didn't get back into the game when we needed to right away. There was no reaction from the players whatsoever. There's no fight, passion, pride, heart, determination, commitment to get back into that game. The players had no confidence, the heads dropped, we capitulated, and we folded, and that's what happened. When you're like that, and when the coach is trying to give his game plan of what you want to try and do, even if it's 1-0, you're still in the game. You can still get back into the game. When it's 2-0, you've got a mountain to climb. When it's 3-0, that's it. It's game, set and match, and that's it. Play for pride. This is what happens. The players are just not taking on coaching instructions. You do wonder what's going on in training. I like to have Netflix this season at Manchester United. I really would do. I want to know what is going on behind the scenes at Carrington, and we all want to see it. Get those cameras in, and I'm sick to death of these bunch of players, and they're just not taking on coaching instructions. The manager's trying his best to bring Manchester United back, and he's not been backed by the board. He's not got his recruitment in. He's not got the right players in. He's still dealing with knobs as well, and the players are just not taking on his instructions. It's not good enough. And this is what happens. And then they're all getting on each other's backs. They're all arguing in the dressing room in Carrington. And you've got leaks coming out again. It's not good enough. The players have got to take responsibility. It's all on them. Nothing boils down on the manager on this one. That's on the players. That is on the players. There's 8 days now to our next game against Liverpool. The confidence is low in the dressing room. What do we need to do to turn it around? I think we've just got to dust ourselves off. Look ahead. Just look at the upcoming games. Just take it one game at a time. Stop looking forward, looking at the other results. They know this is a big game against Liverpool. This is a derby. Every Manchester United fan doesn't want to lose this game. Every United player wearing that shirt needs to go out there and play for pride, passion, pride. You have to give it absolutely everything that you've got against Liverpool. You've got to fight from minute 1 to minute 90. You've got to show the character. You've got to do the right things in terms of game management and decision making. And then we've got to get back to the basics. Win your 50-50s, win your duels, win your loose balls. And if you can start doing that right, then you're going somewhere. And I know that They're going to be busy this week in terms of going into getting more players in, but also the players need to start getting it right in training. And I think these players are just getting away with it at the minute as well, and they are still going to get away with it until they don't put it right, and they have to put it right this week. I know they're going to turn it around during the week, because they know that this is Liverpool. Last season or the season before, we had a crap game against Palace. We went into City, we were all dreading what was going to happen there, and then at the end of the day, we went and beat them 2-0. A lot can change, but it's not good enough, and we knew we have to change this around. It's a big game against Liverpool. Liverpool or Man United fans know what the history is behind this rivalry. No one doesn't like losing it. We're going to have to really get ourselves together. You're looking at leaders like Maguire, Ronaldo, Varane, just get this team together, start performing well, and we have to. We have to start taking it game by game. Stop looking ahead, look at the next game ahead against Liverpool, and then we could go somewhere then. Dust yourselves off, get back to what you do. Just get back to the fucking basics. Get back to the basics, and let's go from there. And then we can build. How do we beat Liverpool? Now, obviously, this is going to be such a difficult game against Liverpool. Liverpool are a great team, as you know. Obviously, you got a fantastic manager. Obviously, got lots of quality all over the pitch. Just look at players like Diaz, Nunez, Salah. It's going to be difficult. But the one thing the reason why we could maybe sneak a draw would be probably because of their injuries at the minute. They're dealing with a lot of injuries at the minute. They've got players like Thiago out, Oxlade-Chamberlain out, Jota out. So they've got some big players out. That could really come into play, I think, for sure. So I think if we have an injury-free week of players not getting injured, have a strong squad that we could take to Old Trafford, we need to try have our hopes up and be up for the game and hopefully go and try and beat Liverpool. But Liverpool, we know what they're all about. They're a fantastic team, well coached, well drilled. Klopp's a fantastic manager, as you know. Liverpool, what do you expect from them? They're going to be aggressive, they're going to be ruthless, they're going to get between the lines. They'll put the pressure onto us when they don't have possession. They're going to work hard, they're going to win the ball back quick as well. They're very physical, very direct. They'll get in our faces. They've got injuries though as well. That's the one thing that they will, I think, that could come into play in this game. They will panic under pressure. When we get forward, they'll panic under pressure, but they'll like to exploit and expose the spaces high up the pitch. But if they're probably 1 or 2-0 down, they don't back off. They're going to show that commitment and that desire and that determination to get back into the game. And that's the one thing that we've got to be aware of from Liverpool as well. They fight from minute 1 to minute 90, and we've got to do the exact same thing as well. But what we've got to do is we've got to make the runs in from behind, and that's their one weakness in that team. Make the runs in from behind. And if we can make the runs in from behind, they can't deal with it. And as soon as you make those runs in from behind, take your chances. We could have a chance of beating this Liverpool side. But we've got to have to stick to our game plan in this game. Do not ignore the manager's instructions. Take it on board. You will win the game. But we've got to be aggressive ourselves. We've got to be ruthless. We've got to play with high intensity, high tempo, high energy. Create the chances. Take our chances. Don't let them back in the game. Game management and decision making will be key in this game as well. But we've got to be tight. We've got to close them down. Don't let them get a shot off. Sustain attacks. Do the basics. Win the 50-50s. Win your second balls. Win your duels. Put them on the back foot. Keep possession. Make runs in from behind, as you know. Get between the lines. Defensively, frustrate them. Defensively, don't make any mistakes as well. And then fullbacks have got to be effective. Got to be tight and compact. Don't get pulled out of position, and work the angles in this game as well. I know Ten Hag doesn't do that in his systems, but we're going to have to. If we work the angles, drop the shoulder, it could potentially lead to something. So we're going to have to take this on board. It's a lot to take on, and he will demand a lot. But if we can get the right game plan and listen to what Ten Hag's got to say, we can win this game against Liverpool. Getting into the stats now, possession for Brentford it was 33.3%, and for Man United it was 66.7%. Goals for Brentford it was 4, and for Man United it was 0. Total shots for Brentford it was 13, and for Man United it was 15. Shots on target for Brentford it was 7, and for Man United it was 4. Shot accuracy for Brentford it was 53.8%, and for Man United it was 26.7%. Shots inside the box for Brentford it was 7, and for Man United it was 7. Shots outside the box for Brentford it was 6, and for Man United it was 8. Total passes for Brentford Brentford, it was 255 passes. And for Man United, it was 525 passes. Pass accuracy for Brentford, it was 65.5%. And for Man United, it was 84.6%. Getting into the substitutions now, Shaw went off for Malacia. Talk about Luke's performance. Would not have started and does not appear remotely aligned with Ten Hag's approach. His attempt to keep up with Brian Mwembu was a disgrace. Removed at half-time. Martinez went off for Varane. Talk about Lisandro's performance. The doubters now appear to include Erik ten Hag, who hooked Martinez at half-time after he was given a going over by Brentford's power players. Fred went off for McTominay. Talk about Fred's performance. One of Scott McTominay and Fred had to be sacrificed, and Fred was the worst without McTominay. A bait paired in an unworkable midfield, substituted at the pause. Sancho went off for Elanga. Talk about Jaden's performance. Evidence of how misleading and meaningless pre-season is. It was more anonymous than against Brighton and made way for Anthony Elanga. Eriksen went off for Van der Beek. Talk about Christian's performance. Eriksen is a playmaker, a midfielder, and sometimes a winger. He's not a defensive midfielder, and he was overwhelmed by former teammates. Also seemed unnerved by the crowd's booing. Next up, we've got Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool are 13th in the table at the minute. They're yet to play this weekend. Obviously, they're playing Crystal Palace tonight. I think if Liverpool get back to winning ways, I think we've got a tough game on our hands against Liverpool. I think Liverpool will have the confidence. We're rock bottom on confidence at the minute. Our players just know that the confidence is just not there. I think the players are just screaming for a game like this to get them going, really get their season going. And what I mean by that is when you have a big game like this, the players are up for it. This is a game that fans don't like losing, and we want to win this game. We want to try and give Liverpool... We don't want to play this game and just sit back. We've got to have to be aggressive, ruthless, high intensity, high tempo, high energy. We've got to have to give it absolutely 110%. We're going to have to show the passion, the pride, the fight, the heart, determination, commitment, desire. We have the character as well. We're going to have to fight from minute 1 to minute 90. This is a game that I don't like losing. Liverpool are a great side, got a great manager, well coached, well drilled. We know what to expect from Liverpool. It's going to be a tough game, could be a tactical game as well, but this Liverpool side, when they don't have possession, they're going to hunt you down, they're going to work hard to get the ball back, and when they get the ball, they work it well. We can't be pissing about in this game. We're going to have to get to work. We're going to have to work hard ourselves. We need to have the fans as our 12th man. Obviously, they are protesting. They want to empty Old Trafford, but I think this is a game where we need to turn the form around. We need a win from somewhere, and I think this will get the players going. I think if we win this game, it'll be a real boost, and it'll start our season off strongly, even though it's got off to bad starts with 2 losses back to back. I think this will get the fans behind, even though we have lost 2 games. I think this is still a game that we have to get up for. I think Ten Hag is going to have to get his right team. My team for this game would be De Gea, Wan-Bissaka. I think it's got to be Maguire, Varane, Malacia. Rabiot has got to be in there for me. And I think you've got to play Rabiot with Eriksen, Bruno with Sancho, Rashford and Ronaldo. That would be my team for this game. So that's what I would go with. He has to make some changes. He's going to have to be hard on some players. Get his right team selection. Mess around in this game with team selections. We have to get it right tactically. We have to get it right on the day. We have to give it absolutely everything that we've got. Tough game against Liverpool, but the players have to be up for it. They have to prepare well for a game like this, physically, mentally. The mentality's got to be right as well. Never know at the end of the day. But we have to give them a game. I don't want to sit back and just say, just do what you want to do against us. No, go and do what you've got to do. We're at home here. We're at Old Trafford. Play for the badge, play for the shirt, and play for the club as well. And give it your all. I want to see players knackered after that game. And if I see tired faces, that shows that we've absolutely gave it everything that we've had. We run more than them, and if we can stick to our game plan, be aggressive, be ruthless, we can beat this Liverpool side. We just have to create the chances and take our chances. If we can do that, follow what Ten Hag wants to do, we can win this game against Liverpool, and we can stun them, we can shock them. We've done it early on in pre-season, even though that meant nothing. But go and do it again at Old Trafford. This will get your season back on track. This will kick on your season. Be up for it and be ready for a game like this, and we've got to stay alert and stay awake. This is a game that you want to win for sure. Liverpool are scoring 2 goals per game. Liverpool are conceding 2 goals per game. The players to look out for is Alisson, Gomez, Van Dijk, Konate, Tsimikas, Ramsey, Robertson, Trent, Fabinho, Milner, Keita, Henderson, Jones, Elliott, Carvalho, Firmino, Salah, Diaz and Nunez. Hope you guys enjoyed another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in a video in the next couple of days, and Peace.